All right. Haven't gone live in a while, so I wanted to go live. It's about 10:38 Eastern Standard Time. So, hopefully there are people that join the stream. So, happy to be back, happy to be live again. Yeah. I know, right? It's been a little bit. Just gonna wait for some people to log on in here into the stream. So stay live for a few. Let's just see here. Show sticker button. Create top fan. Microphone muted. Finish. 0 watching now. 0 likes. I know that there will be people coming in pretty soon. Yeah. 0 watching now. Top fans. I'm going to talk about in the live stream today. I'm going to talk about my Kentucky trip that I went to. We're gone for a couple days, and I wanted to give some context regarding the trails. Top fans. 0 watching now. Top fans. Button. I know a lot of people have seen. Over 500 people have viewed the Kentucky Trail montage. So I do want to give some insight on that. And I'm going to wait, though, because there's nobody in the stream. I'm going to wait till some people start logging in, and then I'll get started on the insight of the Kentucky Trails. So I'm just going to wait a few more minutes here for people to actually get in. 0 watching now. 0 likes. Top fans. 0 watching now. 0 likes. Finish. 0 watching now. Top fans. Button. Play. Chat. Welcome to the chat. Selected. Turn on camera. Button. 0 watching now. Top fans. So still an empty stream. Still waiting for people to get on. I don't know if the intelligence of the YouTube algorithms has failed me. I hope not. 1 watching now. 0 top fans. Button. Okay, there we go. Now we have somebody on. But yeah, let's get started here. So the Kentucky Trails. It was a very interesting experience. And for context, I am totally blind, so this will add to it. So the initial drive was about, I'm from the state of Ohio, so it was about 5 hours out. I got to Kentucky, and we had a cool little house. It was nice. It was 3 bedrooms, had some stairs to walk up. It was pretty nice. So let's actually break down here how the trip went. Overall, the trip was excellent. The first thing that we did when we arrived, obviously, is we unloaded everything. And it was just an evening of relaxation. And then for dinner, we went to a steakhouse. They were very good burgers, very delicious. And that wraps up the first day of the trip. And the second day, what happened during that day, we didn't go off-roading until the third day, but the second day, we went kayaking and hiking. We were on that kayak for a good 2-ish hours. I think it was less than 2 hours. It was probably slightly over an hour. And there were multiple kayaks, singles and tandems. I rode a tandem. And that was very interesting. And after the fact, I definitely got sunburnt. So that was an interesting experience. But it was really cool. Waters were calm. The place echoed like crazy. It was very echoey. I mean, you could yell and you could hear the echo. You can hear the sound bounce off of everything. There were trees surrounding the lake. They were hundreds of feet tall. My dad was describing it to me, hundreds of feet tall. They were big, huge trees. There were even trees sticking from under the water in certain spots. And then the lake itself was about 70 feet deep in certain areas. After kayaking, we went on a hike, and that hike was interesting. It was a 2-mile hike in total, 1 mile to and 1 mile back. But we turned around about halfway through due to the fact that we wouldn't get back in time before dusk. And that hike was insane. There were stairs to climb, rock formations to climb up and down, uneven terrain, roots sticking up from the ground. It was nuts. Definitely sweating after that. But it was a very interesting experience. It was a tough hike too. There was a lot of traversing, a lot of climbing. It's definitely not like a walk. And then after the hike, we got some pizza. It was very good. Very, very good. And then Friday rolls around. And during that day, and this was in the morning, we had to obviously load up everything. After that, we hit the trails, and I will premiere the trail footage. Not sure when that will happen, but if you want more context, you can take a listen to the montage. I will link it in the stream description after I'm done streaming so that you guys can go back and go into that link. I'll keep the public stream up for a few weeks. I'll keep it up for a little bit so you guys can find that link. And when I premiere that trail, keep in mind, you guys are going to be blown away by this. I did all the editing in Final Cut Pro for iPad. I did the montage in Final Cut Pro, and I did all the trail footage in Final Cut Pro for iPad. So I did all of the video editing and everything. And again, the nice thing is about Final Cut Pro is, yes, it is accessible for totally blind users to use. VoiceOver is a screen reader, and Apple has built accessibility into this app so that totally blind people can edit using on-screen controls and all sorts of things. I probably will make a course on how to use Final Cut Pro for iPad. I'm not going to be covering a bunch of visual things, but I'll probably make a course. I don't know for certain, but it could happen. Also, Pixelmator Pro, that could definitely happen as well. I might make a course on that. They've improved the accessibility on that, so I can actually make a course on how to use it. However, I won't be able to cover painting and other effects due to the fact that those are very visual based, so I won't be able to cover those at all. I'm going to look at the chat now to see if anybody has any questions or comments. All right, Isaiah in the chat requesting a shout out. You got it. Shout out to you. Got it, man. Got it. Awesome. Yep, shout out to you, buddy. I know there's somebody on the stream right now. I'm surprised that... I'm hoping that there were more people that came on. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. But yeah, that's how the Kentucky trip went. I mean, a lot of trails, a lot of hiking, kayaking. Kayaking, I've never went kayaking before, so that was first time ever experience with kayaking. So that was a cool experience, being out on literally, I mean, it was a huge open lake. Trees were 100 feet tall. Just the lake was completely surrounded by trees. I cannot tell you how crazy it was. All surrounded by trees. And then the trails, I didn't mention this yet, but the trails we ran, I'm not kidding, we ran into a huge hole. The back tires of the Land Cruiser came crashing down. That was pretty epic. And then we actually climbed a few trees. Not kidding, the Land Cruiser, like literally, we had to climb over trees with this thing. And the Land Cruiser is one of those vehicles that, again, they're very sophisticated. And these Toyota Land Cruisers, they're very good for off-roading. And it's just quite amazing what what these kinds of vehicles can do, and we didn't even get stuck one time. And again, credit to Dad who was driving. And again, you'll hear all of that in the footage, the actual movie footage. So that will premiere soon. I don't have a date in mind yet, but I'm thinking of posting some more sneak previews, possibly. I don't know yet for certain. I've been focusing a lot of time since I got out of Kentucky. I've been focused on some music production, but I figured I would come live here on YouTube to see how everything's going. Also, if you haven't seen my most recent video, it's called Consider This, and you should check that out. I'll also link that in the description, so I'll link I think it was the trail montage, I'll link that in there, but I'll also link the other recording as well, which is the Consider This. And by the way, in the Consider This recording in the description, there is a pre-save link for The Cost of Love. So go check that out. It is an album. It will be coming out on July 26th on all streaming platforms, including YouTube Music, Apple Music, Amazon, Deezer, Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all that you can think of. All that it could go to, it goes to. And again, July 26th, that will be coming out.
Watching now, 2 likes. Play, check out, NRP5TNF, Y, button, 6 check options.
Yep, somebody had to leave. Okay, cool.
NRP5TNF, am I the only person here? Button, 5 6. NRP5TNF, hi, button. NRP5TNF, am I the only person here? Button, NRP5TNF, Y, button, 6 finish. Watching now, 2 likes, top fans.
I know there is still one person on right now. Not a huge stream today, but that's fine. It is kind of late. Again, we're in Eastern Standard Time, so it is a little bit late to stream, which I get. I get it. So, but yeah, that's how the Kentucky trip went. And if so, I can go on again tomorrow and cover it again. Talk about the trip again. I wouldn't mind doing that. So, all right. I believe that's all for today. Again, I will link those two things in the description. I will link the Consider This and the trail montage. That will be linked. So, it should be available within a few hours. Other than that, everybody take it easy. Have a nice day, or night, or morning, wherever you are. And remember, always be authentic. Keep it real. Thanks, and goodbye.
2 watching now, 2 top fans. Green face, finish. Button. In stream, heading. Your stream was cancel, button.
Wait, hold on a second, guys.
Finish, button, finish. 2 watching now, top fans. Red heart. Red heart, create, selected. Turn, create short, button. Choose speaker. Microphone mute, top fans, button.
Oh, is there emojis in this?
Green face, smiling eyes. Top fans, button. 2 watching now, 2 likes.
Wait a second, is there emojis on this stream? I'm confused.
Click check out. This message is held for review. View message. Link 9. NRP5TNF. I'm back. Button. 8 of 10.
Oh, we have a message held for review. Hold on a minute.
Rewatch top fans. Party upper. Microphone muted. Choose speaker. Button.
Okay, yeah, I'm guessing there is emojis on here. Yes, you can implement emojis. I got a message held for review. I have to take a gander, so I'll be right back, guys. Hold on.
Microphone muted.
Okay. And yes, there is somebody back. Awesome. Let's see.
Check out. NRP5TNF. Yes. NRP5TNF. Yes. Button. NRP5TNF. Yes. Button. 10. Button. Show. Button. This message is held for review. AW1LRJAGF9F. This message is activate. This message is held for review.
Why is this still appearing?
Check message. Potentially flooded. This is alert. Flooded. Potentially inappropriate messages are held for review. Flooded. Button.
Yes. Really.
Sure. Plating. Check out. NRP1L9. Yes. Button. Time. Button. Show. Button.
So yeah, there is emojis in the live stream. I didn't know that people could add emojis in there. I actually had no idea.
This message is held for review.
Hang on, there's...
Show. This message is review.
I don't
RJAG.
understand why I can't get rid of this.
Sheet wrapper. Message delete. Message. Report. Button. Alter. Channel activity. Please ring time. User. Dismiss. Dismiss. User. Please ring time out. Sheet wrap. Message delete. Message delete. Button. Message delete. Message delete. Message. Report. Button. Create short. Play it. Channel. Editor P5 TNF. Type. Button. Show. Button. Type. Button. Type. 911. Editor P5. Message automatically help review. Button. Editor P5 TNF. I'm back. Button. 811.
Okay. Sorry about all that.
Rewatching now. TikTok fans. Microphone muted. Button.
Somebody sent a bunch of gibberish in the chat, so I had to hide them from the channel so that won't happen. I literally cannot monitor everything, so please don't send messages with gibberish things, because then I will hide that person from the channel so that there's no spam or unnecessary content. So again, please don't do that. Highly appreciate it.
8 now. 2 live. 16 minutes. 23 seconds. Play. Channel. Add to us. Hi. Button. And then mention greetings from Israel. Israel. Button. 13:14.
Israel. Awesome, man. Praise God. Seriously. That's awesome. From Israel.
Greetings from Israel. Yes. Button. W1 15. Sharp. Play. Channel. And then behind people in business. Button. 15.
Okay. I don't know who wrote that message. In further context, hang on, is that a meme? Is that seriously a meme? Also, what I was talking about earlier is I hid a user from the YouTube channel because of a message review. Seriously, is this a meme? Or what you guys writing is a meme? I need to know if it's a meme. If it's not, I'm going to have to hold these messages for review here. Okay, a message was retracted from a user. Alright, I'm gonna get rid of these out.
Time operation, 10 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 1 minute, button. Finish, button. Play date, channel, list time down by Russell, 60 seconds. 19, this message, help review, view message, message deleted by Russell, button. 17, this message, help review, view message, 18, list time down by Russell, 60 seconds. 19, channel options, button.
Yeah.
This message, help review, view message, 18, this message, help review.
Come on, man. Why are we doing this today?
This message, help review, view message. Dismiss alert, dotted, button. Potentially inappropriate, dotted, button. Create short chart, play date, channel, list time down by Russell, 60 seconds. This message, help review, view message, 18, message deleted by Russell, button. Message deleted by Russell, button. This message, list time down by Russell, is that your wife talking, button. Channel options, button.
No, what you're hearing is the sound of a screen reader, which is, it's called VoiceOver. And VoiceOver, again, I'm totally blind, so VoiceOver reads out the content on the screen so I can respond to the live chats. And for further context, no, that is not my wife talking. That is a piece of technology. So it's called VoiceOver. Again, it reads out the screen so I can navigate on it and use this for streaming, because I'm streaming off of my phone. So that's where that audio is coming from, is from that phone speaker. So thank you for asking, though. Yeah, VoiceOver is a very fast screen reader. I have the speech rate set to 100%. Let me see.
Word speaking rate, 100 words, characters.
Yeah, it's set to 100% speech rate. Yeah. By the way, you're from Israel, right? Is this the person in the chat from Israel here? I think. I'm not sure, though. Can't really remember. Oh, there. Oh, yeah, you are from Israel. Cool. I just saw that. No, brother. This is not about marriage, man. This is a screen reader. A screen reader reads aloud content on the screen. It's not an actual person. It's an automated, I wouldn't say automated, it's a text-to-speech voice that reads everything out. Brother, I don't think, I hope you're paying attention. I mean, because the questions you're asking aren't even relevant to what I was talking about.
Oh, primary command. I cannot use this as M. Right. Sheet wrapper. Edit message. Trim message. Report. Button. Remove. Button. This message held for review. View message. 1843. Share. Play. Channel. And then message. Oh, I see like a robot voice over your husband's voice. Is he away? Button. 23.
You're not okay. If you cannot pay attention, then I will literally put you in timeout for about 60 seconds. Because seriously, like, again, if you don't, I'm surprised. Like, do you know what text-to-speech is? Because this is not about. I just don't think you're understanding.
Options. And then message. Oh, I see like a robot voice over your husband's voice.
Again, you're not understanding. VoiceOver allows me to navigate my phone. And it's built into the phone, so all iPhones have it. So, like, seriously. You don't mean to be frustrated, but we can't. Like, guys, what you guys have to understand is that blind people now have technology that allows them to navigate their landscape, like phones, iPads, watches, etc. They all have accessibility tools in mind, and a lot of people don't know that. And now it's time to spread awareness that yes, technology like that does exist.
To watching now. 4 likes. Play. Channel. And then message. Sorry, I don't follow. This is or is not your husband or real partner. Button. 24.
You are okay.
And then message. Oh, blind. Sorry, I did not know. Button. 25.
Okay, yes, I am totally blind. And by the way, that previous message, again, there's no husband or partner here. This is all about technology. Stop referring to husband and partner, please. Seriously. This is about how phones work. This is not about marriage or anything like that. And just for sole clarification, if you think, like, seriously, the voice that you're hearing is a text-to-speech voice. Seriously.
Okay, I see. Sorry, no. Button. 26.
Okay, there we go. There we go. It's all right. I just didn't think you were understanding. That's fine. I just didn't want. I just wanted you to understand what I was talking about.
Okay, I see. Sorry, and then oh, blind. Message retracted. Button. And then oh, I see like a robot voice over your husband's voice.
Let me get rid of this here.
Sheet wrapper. And then message. Trim message. Report. Button. Remove. Button.
Just getting rid of that previous message. Just for sole clarification, if anyone's in the chat.
Okay, I see. Sorry, no. Options. Not watching now. 4 likes. Top fans.
That's all right, brother. I get it. I just didn't think you were quite understanding of what I was talking about, which is fine. But I just didn't want you sending the same messages over and over and over and over again. Because then that would just be a problem. So. But yeah, the speech that you were hearing is called VoiceOver, which is a screen reader that reads out everything on the phone. So.
Play it. Channel. And then what are you doing while listening to text-to-speech? Button. 27.
So with the text-to-speech, so the text-to-speech essentially. Okay, I think I understand what you're at. I believe I understand what you're asking. Right now, I'm just talking through the microphone. That text-to-speech is just reading the messages that are being sent through the chat. So when you write, I can swipe left or right on the screen and it reads it out. So it reads it out. So the text-to-speech, all that's doing is just reading out the chat. That's it.
Chat options. What are you doing while listening to text-to-speech? Button. 27:47.
Also, thanks for being on the stream, brother. Appreciate you. From Israel.
To watching now, 4 likes. Play chat. What are you doing while listening to text-to-speech? Button. 27:47.
So, I'm still paying attention to the chat, so if you have any other questions or if you want to write anything, go ahead. I'm keeping an ear on it here. So, take your time. I'm not going anywhere.
What are you doing while listening to text? Chat options. Button. 6 watching now, 4 live, 26 minutes, 5 seconds. Play chat. Are you completing blind? Chat options. Are you completing blind or partially? Button. Chat options.
Okay, good question. So, I am totally blind, so I have no vision whatsoever. Retinal detachment, and I was born totally blind. It's quite a blessing, to be completely frank, because if I was able to see and then I went blind later in my life, it would have been much harder for me to learn Braille and other things. It would have been much harder to learn. So I'm very fortunate in my circumstance, I should say. Pretty bad hand anyway, but I'm pretty fortunate in that regard. Because the dice could have been rolled differently, and then I would have been blind later, and that wouldn't have been good at all. That would have been a way worse hand to be dealt. So, but seriously, thank you for the question. Appreciate that.
Chat options. Button. Are you completing blind or partially? Button. 28:48. Chat options. Button.
So again, thank you. Appreciate you. And hopefully you're not upset with me about all that confusion earlier about the text-to-speech and voiceover. So hopefully you're not upset with me about that. It's just some people, brother, they send messages in the chat and stuff, and then they intentionally try to abuse the chat, which I don't like, because I can only monitor so many messages at one time.
Play chat options. Interesting. What do you think color looks like? And that's your imagination like. Button. 20 chat options. Button.
Good question about imagination and color. Appreciate that. Since I am totally blind and I've never had any vision, I cannot imagine what color looks like at all. So that is completely out of the picture. I mean, I can imagine what color could feel like. For example, green is like a soft color. Blue reminds me of the sky. Red reminds me of blood. Pink reminds me of a nice day. Orange reminds me of the fruit orange. But again, my favorite color is green, and the reason why is because of the grass. Grass is green. Grass feels good. That's my favorite color, green. But imagining what color can look like is not possible, since I've never had vision, and since I've never seen what color is, I don't have a reference to imagine what color is. And for your other question, all my imagination is just all my other senses except sight. So I have dreams, I can imagine scenarios, but there's no such thing as vision in the imagination. It's all the other senses. There's no vision. So I have an imagination just like everybody else. However, the vision part of it is just completely gone. Obviously, there's no picture. It's just tactile and senses, auditory, etc.
Play chat options. Interesting. What do you think color looks like? And that's your imagination. Chat options. Button. One watching now, 4 likes. Top microphone muted. Button. Play chat. Interesting. Chat.
Also, it's, again, man, appreciate you. Glad you're here. I'm glad you're still here engaging, so that's awesome. Appreciate you, brother. I was actually going to end, I'm not going to do this, trust me. I was going to end the live stream earlier, but I'm not, because this is good, so thank you.
30 minutes, 1 second. Play chat. Tool. But how do you have vision limitation? Button. 30. Speaking rate. Speaking words. Ben. Tool. What? Hobbies. Do. You have. If. Vision. A. Limitation. Chat.
If vision's a limitation, which, again, I have none, hobbies would be For example, imagine an artist who paints. Well, I am a music producer. As you can see on my channel's a official artist channel, so it has a music note icon. So I release music. I'm a very prolific music producer. I've been active for 5 years total. I've just started releasing this year. I'm going to be taking a break next year, but started releasing this year. I have hundreds of songs out, or hundreds of songs that I've produced, and I'm slowly starting to share them with the world. If you want to look at them after the stream, you can. It's under the music videos tab or the releases tab on the channel. And then on July 26th, 2026, there will be an album being released called The Cost of Love. So you can go check that out. Other hobbies I like doing, audio gaming is one of them. I also like jumping on trampolines for fun. But yeah, I mean, my primary enjoyment is really music, really making music and gaming, audio gaming specifically. So those are some things that I really like to do. And then going back on my previous thing, I'm planning to release songs all this year. So not every single song, obviously, but maybe around 60 to 70 songs. But again, I'm not really sure how that's going to go, because with this album coming out on July 26th, it's obviously going to be a 14-song album. So again, my thinking is releases are going to be much slower. And then next year, I'm going to be taking a break from releasing songs and focusing on promotion, since I've released 2 albums in 1 year, which that's a lot of material, plus a bunch of other singles. So I'm already estimating by the time I reach 2027, late June, which that's when I'm going to take a break, I can already imagine many more songs out. However, what I'm going to be doing for the next few months is just focusing more on production rather than releasing, because I don't want to saturate the stores with too many releases, because I want listeners to get a feel of what the catalog is and what my music is, because I do metal, jazz, electronic, etc. Okay. I know somebody wrote in here, "I hate you, it's all a joke." And my response to that is, I hate you as well, and it's all a joke. Thank you. Let's see.
0 watching now, 4 likes. Played it, 10 up. I believe it builds 5,678. Finish. 0 watching now, 4 likes. Just played it, 10 up. I believe it builds 5,678. I hate you, but it's all a joke. Button. 34.
Hi, I hate you, but it's all a joke. It's pretty good.
0 watching now, 4 likes. Top. 0 watching now, 4.
Yeah, looks like we're done here. All right.
I believe it builds 5,678. I hate you, but it's all a joke. And then I finish. LOL, keep control. Button. 35.
Oh, you're back. Cool. Yeah, he is a troll. Yep.
I believe it builds 5,600.
Hang on.
I believe message. Message. Report. Remove. Button.
Just remove this.
Finish. Button.
I'm not gonna hide him. That was pretty funny.
Watching now, 4 likes. Played 10 up. And then I finish. LOL, keep control. Button. 35. And then I finish. LOL, keep control. Button. Message. Delete. Button.
Also, thanks for coming back, man. I thought you were gone for a second. I'm like, oh no. I do have a question for you, brother. What is it like in Israel? Can you describe it for me a bit?
Options. Button. And then I finish. I'm still here. Button. 30.
Yep, I can see that you're still here, which is cool. But what's it like in Israel? So can you give like a description of what it's like?
Play 10 options. And then I finish. I live in Tel Aviv. It is very modern city. Button. 37.
That's cool. Modern cities, I can imagine a lot of cars, a lot of hustle and bustle. Can imagine that. That's cool. Can you describe like day-to-day life in the country or in Israel? describe like a day-to-day life.
Channel. It is very modern city. Button. 37. I'm still here. Button. 30. Channel options. Button. It is speaking rate. Speak volume. Audio buckets. Speaking reports. Characters. Period. Period. B. N. Hyphen. S. H. Channel options. Button. It is very modern city. Button. 37. Tell you is probably more cultural city. Button. 38. Channel options. Words. Speaking words. Ben. Shemesh. Tell. Believe. Is. Probably. More. Cultural theaters. City. And Shemesh. And what do you do? Button. Channel options. Button.
Gotcha. Cool. I know this may sound insane, but what time is it right now in Israel in your time zone? Because if you want and stuff, I'm gonna probably go live again, and that'd be cool if you can show back up. So what time is it right now in your time zone? And then I can schedule a stream that can accommodate your time zone. However, I don't want it to be too late, and I'm in Eastern time, so just what time is it right now in your time zone, so I can see what I can do. Is it 6 o'clock a.m. or 6 o'clock p.m. for reference? A.m. or p.m.? Okay, evening time. Yeah, this should work. I'll go live again. I can definitely go live again. If in order to receive the notification, brother, make sure you subscribe though and click the bell in order to be notified. But I can go live at around your time zone again. I just make sure here. Yeah, I can accommodate that. That won't be a problem. So I'll go live at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, also known as 6 p.m. your local time. So I can go live again during that. So no problem. No problem, brother. Can you write in the chat if you're up to that? Oh, you meant morning? Okay. Either way, that's fine. 7 hours ahead. That ain't bad. But yeah, again, if you want me to go live again, that's no problem. I can absolutely accommodate that. So it's up to you. What time would you like me to go live again? Or if you want me to just go live at 6 a.m. your time? And again, make sure you subscribe and click bell, and then write to me in the chat what you think. Yep, I understand. It's cool. Things to do. I get it. Cool. Do you at least have the notification bell turned on so you can at least get notified if I go live? Just for sake of clarity and reference. And again, you don't have to join, but if you want to be notified if I go live. Awesome. Awesome, thank you. Really appreciate it. From Israel. You know, you don't usually get to see loyal fans like you a lot of the time, so glad you actually stuck with me through this. So, again, appreciate you. Praise God. Appreciate you, brother. And yeah, I can definitely go live again. And again, I appreciate that you have the notifications active and you being subscribed. So again, it really means a lot to me. My goal is to try to reach 500 subscribers to get into the YouTube partner program to start getting some income off of my videos. Obviously, the music is a separate thing, but it'd be cool getting into the YouTube partner program eventually.
Playing. Check out. And then I finish. Hope you do well and good luck with the music creation. Button. 48. Finish. One watching now. 4 top fans.
Yeah, and I really appreciate it, man. I usually don't say this, but sad to see you go. Whew. If you want, I can stay live for a little bit longer. We can keep chatting, or if you want to get going, you can. But sad to see you go because it's really been a really good conversation so far. And if you must go, that's totally fine. But just want to throw this out there now. I really appreciate you as a person. And I really appreciate that you've been interested in me as a person. So again, that really does mean a lot. So thank you for that.
0 watching now. 4 likes. Check. Play. Check out. And then I finish. I'm currently just relaxing, so no need to do yet. Button. 50.
Okay, gotcha.
0 watching now. Live 40. 0 watching top fans. 0 live 41 minutes 45 seconds. 0 top fan. Microphone unmuted. Choose stick. Microphone.
I got your message. It says 0 on the... I don't know if you're still here or not, because it shows 0 on the thing. Oh, there it is. I saw. It just went back up. I got it. Okay, cool. Education-wise, I already completed high school, so I'm going to be studying software and engineering. So I'm going to be doing that for a couple years, studying that. So, yeah, I'll be doing more studying stuff.
Microphone unmuted.
Basically, everything I learned in school, I was in classes just like everybody else was, but again, with that limitation in mind, everything that I learned was auditory, so everything would have to be adapted and modified. For example, in math, instead of obviously looking at a picture would be drawn out tactilely so I can feel what it feels like a triangle for Pythagorean theorems. Also, too, I'd use Braille to read and text-to-speech to do work. When I was really young in preschool, in my very young years, I'm 19, I'm obviously not old, but when I was considerably younger, I used a Perkins Brailler to write out my work, which is a typewriter style Brailler. You load paper in and then it embosses the Braille dots out. And then later, I started using an Apex, which is it's a Braille note taker. Not super modern, but it was electronic with refreshable Braille. Refreshable Braille is just electronic Braille dots that refresh as you type. And then the modern version of everything, the Braille Note Touch and Braille Note Touch Plus, were Android tablets with refreshable Braille displays built into them.
Microphone muted. Button.
Braille is essentially, you know how print works, right? I really don't know how print looks, but Braille is basically a series of dots that visually impaired people use to read. For example, let's say you're walking in a building and you find a room. Well, for somebody who's visually impaired, they don't know what the room number is. Luckily, there are Braille signs to tell you. And again, Braille is a sequence of dots. Let's say that I'm reading the number 316. There would be a number sign, which in Braille is dots 3, 4, 5, and 6. The number 3 is the letter C, and that's after the number sign. The next number is 1, which would be after the 3, which is dots 1. And then for the 6, it would be the letter F, which is dots 1, 2, and 4. Let me just make sure that's correct. I'm pretty sure that is right. Yep. But again, C, A, and F, it would only classify it as a number if there's a number sign in front of it. So if there is a number sign, then those letters would be classified as numbers because of that number sign. The number sign basically is the modifier for that.
Watching now, 4 likes. Not finish, finish, button, please, check out, and then I finish, that's interesting, but exactly is Braille and how does it work? Check options, button. Play it, check options, and then I finish, interesting, this sounds quite cool, button, 56 of 56, finish, when watching now, 4, top 5.
Yeah, I can agree. I can agree. Braille is one of those things. Just out of sheer curiosity, what brought you here today? On this fine morning of where you're at, what brought you here on this stream?
When watching now, top fans, microphone muted, button, top, live, 47, play it, check out, and then I finish, but music creation does require sight exclusively, which is good, button, and then I.
Yeah, music creation doesn't require sight. No. With the technology you have now, with the technology we have nowadays, yeah, it's very accessible nowadays, yeah. Yep.
And then I finish, I was scrolling live videos and crosswords, button, 58 of 58.
Cool. Cool. Wow. So what, I'm just wondering, brother, what made you stay here? Because usually, again, man, usually people just scroll and then they leave. What made you stay, brother?
And then I finish, there are live people doing those random things, button, 59, check options, button, and then I finish, I was scrolling live videos and crosswords, and then I finish, there are live people doing those random things, button, check options, button.
Yep. People do a lot of random things like scrolling, but again, man, what brings you here? Like what made you stay? Because again, 99% of people do not stay.
And then I finish, you sound like a well-informed user tool, also interesting considering that you are blind, button, 1660, check options, button.
Okay, yeah, I get that as well. Being visually impaired does not inhibit a person from being intelligent, or somebody who is deaf or in a wheelchair. Does not inhibit their intelligence at all. It really does not.
Playing, check options, and then I finish, you sound like a well-informed user tool, also interesting considering that you are blind, button, check options, button.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. A lot of, again, there's not many people out in the world. Like, there's like a good amount of people in the world that are visually impaired, but, I mean, not necessarily many, in other words.
Play chat options. Perhaps you do live videos for questions and answers regarding visual impairment and life around it. Button. 16 chat options. Button.
Yeah, I absolutely will do that. I've been planning to interview other people that are visually impaired too, so I will absolutely. I do entertain the idea. I really, really entertain that idea.
Play chat options. Do you know any other blind people? Button. Chat options. Button.
Yeah, I do, but I really don't. Yeah, I do know a few visually impaired people, like generally, yeah. I don't interact with a lot of them, but I do know a few, yeah. Yeah.
Play chat options. Also, do you play video games? If so, what type? Button. Chat options. Button.
Not video games necessarily, but audio games. So, audio games would be you'd basically wear headphones to play them. I have audio games on my channel, so if you'd like, after the stream when we're done here, you can go through that gaming playlist, and there are some audio games that you can listen to that I've played. I'm doing that regularly I'm doing this regularly as well as music, so channel's all for it, man. And if you read the channel description, it tells a lot about what I do as a content creator, like games, films, music. I do a lot of things.
Play chat options. Audio games based on interesting. Button. 64. Audio games based on interesting. Chat options. Button.
Yeah, audio games, again, there's no visual aspects to those. You wear headphones in order to hear like where obstacles are out, left, right, in front of you. It's basically a 3D audio space that you walk around in. Essentially, that's what Sonar Islands is. And you collect gold and attack other players in the game. So, yeah.
Play chat options. People sometimes forget that there are services created, especially people with disabilities. Button. 60. People sometimes share. Play chat. Selected. Create short. Choose sticker. Microphone muted. Button. Share. Play chat options. Selected. Turn on camera. Button. Create. Choose sticker. Microphone. Orientation is locked. Share. Button. Share. Play chat. People sometimes forget that there are audio games based on interesting. Chat options.
Yep, you're absolutely right. People do forget about that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Everybody always has different abilities. You're absolutely right, brother. Yeah. I do not dispute you on that. By the way, I know this may sound like an odd question, but are you a man or a woman? Because I keep calling you brother. So I want to get that out of the way, just to make sure that, because I keep calling you brother and I'm just not really sure, so.
Play chat options. Button. 66. Chat options. Button.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I just didn't want to be calling you brother and then realizing, oh God, it's not a man. So, thanks, man. Really, thank you. Also, kudos to you, man, for staying with me on the stream. Again, it is so rare for fans like you to stay. So again, kudos to you. Really means a lot.
Play chat options. Advertising mesh. I'm 24. I'm creating games with different games LOL button. 67. Advertising mesh. Email button. Advertising chat options button.
Yeah. Games. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's. I mean, video games are great and all, but they're just not accessible for. Like again, for some people that have some vision, it can work, but in my circumstance, I cannot play video games unless they have a lot of audio cues. But however, audio games are the primary because I literally cannot see. So
Advertising mesh. No problem friend button. Chat options button. Advertising mesh. No problem friend. Advertising mesh. I'm 24. I'm creating chat options button.
yeah. And again, like thank you. It does mean a lot. It really does. Because again, usually you don't get people that stick around. It really does not happen. Like it really does not. And I really wish it did happen more. And if you like, man, go ahead and share my channel to people and spread the word. The more people that know about what I do, the more barriers we can break. You know? Being visually impaired, you can still live a very fulfilling life.
Play chat options. Advertising mesh. It would be interesting to see how we exchange gaming for blind people if possible button. 69. Advertising mesh. No problem friend button. 60. Advertising mesh. It would be interesting to see how we exchange gaming for blind people. Chat options.
Yeah, again, with AI and stuff, like, you can, like, what's pretty cool is, like, as somebody who's visually impaired, I can use, like, Google Gemini and create, like, different games and stuff. It takes a few weeks to develop the games, but, I mean, yeah, like, AI can create Python coding games and then you can play them on the computer. I mean, there are those use cases.
Play game. Chat options. Advertising mesh. It would be interesting to see how we exchange gaming for blind people if chat options button. When watching now, 5 likes. Live 58 minutes 44 seconds. When watching now, 5 likes. Live 58 minutes 46 seconds. Chat played it. Chat up. Advertising mesh. They got knowledge about coding. Do you do it quickly? Button. Chat options.
Yeah, I have some knowledge in Python. I do have some knowledge in regards to that, yeah. Brother, I hate to do this to you, but I've been live here for almost an hour, and I know eventually I'm gonna have to cut this short, which I really don't want to do. However, it is almost midnight in my local time zone here. I really, really hope I hear from you again. I really hope it's not a one-time thing. I really hope that you do come back.
Play game. Chat options. Advertising mesh. Don't worry. Have a good night. Button. 71 of 71. Advertising mesh. They got knowledge about coding. Do you do it quickly? Button. Chat options. Finish. When watching now, 5 likes.
Really, I hope you come back, man. Really means a lot.
Play game. Chat options. Advertising mesh. I hit subscribe button. I am busy. Will try. Button. 72 of 72. Speaking rate. Speak phone. Speaking reports. About Ben. Shema. Have. The. Subscribe button. I am a bit busy. But will try.
All right. And just to confirm, you have the notifications turned on as well, correct?
While watching now, highlight, top, microphone muted, choose skip. Button, microphone.
All right. I wish there's a way that I wish there was another solution where I could tell you, like, when I'm going to go live next, or if you're going to be busy. I wonder if there's another way we can uh, we can uh, we can do that. Um, I mean, in theory, I don't know why my email address isn't showing up on my channel, but you can contact me through that channel. Um, I don't know. What do you think?
Microphone muted, button. Left, while watching now, top, microphone muted.
Because my email address is supposed to be showing up on my channel for inquiries, but what do you think? What would you like? All right, sounds good. Again, really appreciate you. Take it easy. And for all those people who've listened to the stream as well, thank you. It is time for it to end. I will be back live eventually. But seriously, me and Israel means a lot, brother. It really means a lot that you've been here and we've talked for a while, or I should say, I've talked and you wrote. But it really means a lot. And thank you for your support and your dedication to the stream. It really does mean a lot. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Goodbye.